Ethereum prices making new all-time highs, now trading over $1,600 days after already making new highs. Joining me today to talk about this breaking news is Frank Holmes. He's the founder of US Global Investors. Wow, incredible excitement here on the Ethereum front. What's driving prices, Frank?
Well, there's several factors, 5 big factors, but one is coming up as the CME being listed as the futures. And what we saw last year was that many pension funds and also hedge funds that started buying Bitcoin, they used the futures market. There was a reluctance to go and buy Bitcoin from an exchange in case there was bad coins in there, etc. So they used the futures market. Now they'll be able to buy Ethereum by using the CME. So I say that that's very bullish. The other thing is that last time that Bitcoin was at 10,000, 19,000, Ethereum hit 1,400. So now with it over 30,000, Ethereum could be $10,000. And Ethereum is growing rapidly with this, what's called DeFi, decentralized finance, are using the algorithm, the platform of Ethereum. So the faster the DeFi grows, the more Ethereum that's needed. And the other part that's really key there are stable coins. Like JP Morgan came out with a stable coin, and more big financial institutions are coming up with their own crypto stable coin based on the protocol of Ethereum. So this is very, very bullish for Ethereum.
Just on the point about the CME launching the futures contract, when we saw that happen in Bitcoin in 2017, it actually put a dent in prices. So why do you think it's bullish for Ethereum? Could it not stop the upward trajectory here?
It's a complete different set of circumstances. What took place back then was the futures market was created to actually dampen Bitcoin. And that was the whole purpose of it being fast tracked. So what we have today is very different because since then we went through the winter crash of 2018. It bottomed Bitcoin at 3,000, Ethereum just under 100. And the number of wallets, the number of users continues to grow in both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we're seeing that institutions are also buying Ethereum and Bitcoin. And we know that some institutions are actually mining their own Bitcoin to get Bitcoin and their own Ethereum. So to me, this is a very, very different factor that'll probably do the opposite of what happened in 2017.
And Frank, in this comparison of Bitcoin versus Ethereum, I think it's important for investors to remember, they're really two different animals here, created for different purposes.
Well, they're both used as a financial intermediary. And what's important is that Bitcoin is the proof that you can do financial transactions. As Ray Dalio said, it's a brilliant algorithm,
right? And
it's being able to be independent. Ethereum is also brilliant, but it's a smart contract so that you can put your car insurance embedded inside of it. You can put many different types of financial contracts within it. So I think it's got much bigger bandwidth for the financial industry. But the other part is what's interesting for me, I've found, is that there are many gold investors that are long Hive because it's their proxy to play Bitcoin, Ethereum. They're reluctant to go to an exchange and go and open an account to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum directly. So Hive has become their proxy. And that's why last year we traded over 2 billion shares, both in Canada and the US and in Germany. And we were up, Ethereum was up 480%. Bitcoin was up about 300%, and look at Hive was up 2,500% because we had I think the greatest earnings of all of our peers.
And I think is that just a psychological thing, Frank? You think that they just don't want to buy Ethereum and Bitcoin directly, and they just feel better because it's behind
There's so much negative news. There's just so much negative news on it, whereas millennials don't care. Whereas my generation do care, but they believe it's something and they want to participate. So Hive is that proxy.
I want to get back to this, Ethereum versus Bitcoin debate, because many investors are looking at this thinking, okay, I could buy Ethereum now, as we're speaking, Frank, for $1,600. That would only get me 0.03% of Bitcoin. How do you decide what you should be in?
Think of silver and gold, and Ethereum is the silver market, and Bitcoin is the gold market. and the volatility of Ethereum is just greater, and it has many more different uses, just like silver does. It's used as a monetary, it's used as jewelry, it's used for solar panels. Ethereum has many more options that it's used for.
Do you think it will have greater growth than Bitcoin this year, leading up to 2022?
I do, because of this incredible growth in DeFi. You're going to hear more and more about DeFi, about new companies coming out in the space, and they need the protocol of Ethereum. So I'm getting these extra fees. Some days are 50% bonus fees because of all the use and the needs for Ethereum.
Just a final point here. You mentioned $10,000 Ethereum. When do you see that happening, and what time frame, Frank?
You know, that's like the gold-silver ratio, trying to call that. That's a big challenge. But I think the bigger part for me is that Ethereum is actually behind on that ratio. Bitcoin took off to 40,000, fell back to under 30. I think that Ethereum is on that catch-up leg.